All right, we're down at the shop tonight. This is during the week, and UPS just dropped off the goodies, even though that looks a lot bigger than it actually is. I'm going to pull those out. Those should be the shims for the clutch. And what we're going to shoot for doing is get that clutch aligned to where that belt's not grabbing. Secondary shouldn't be turning when it's in park or when it's in neutral. So let me get this unboxed here, get that bolt pulled back off. We'll see if we can get this thing in shape. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got the shims in. One thing I did notice, I do have some Polaris ones coming. There's a slight difference in the size, but this is what McMaster car has, the 22 by 30 by 5. It still does look like it's going to work. There's a little bit of difference here. I'm going to pull out these shims, try not to drop them all. Just kind of show you the difference. So this is the Polaris. As you can see, the inner diameter is just a little bit off from what that is. And the outer diameter is a little off. So what I'm doing is I'm flipping it around this way, and it does still look like there's clearance. And that should push it in that much further. You can see the nice shiny ones. These shims are the same grade. They're the Den 988 spring steel. So I don't think I'm going to have a problem, but I'm going to pop this in real quick, and we'll see what we end up with. So now the secondary doesn't keep spinning. That has helped. I don't know if we're perfectly aligned or not. I'll kind of show you what it looks like here. That's where we're at right now. So that's much better already. Okay, so I'm just going to move the razor around and just kind of, the big issue where I really noticed it is this is really hard to shift. Now this is buttery smooth. Just kind of show you, before I was having to actually yank really hard on it. Now it's just smooth shifting to any position. So we're just gonna move around a little bit. Nice smooth shifting now. Okay, so I think we got that. I need to put the clutch cover back on, and I actually need to torque that bolt down. I just want to mention, I did not use necessarily the recommended method of taking the belt off and all that stuff. I've done several of these style clutches, and usually I'm just real careful. Pull this bolt out with the belt on, and just basically add your shims, move a little bit, check everything out, and then you actually want to tighten this. And this is a 2021 Pro XP. On the 2021s, I'm assuming they switched this bolt size. This bolt is 26 foot-pounds, not 40 foot-pounds. So keep that in mind. If you've got a 2021, pay attention to what bolt size. This is a 10 millimeter capped head bolt. So the socket that fits this is 10 millimeters. Always go back and check what the actual torque is. On this one, it's 26 foot-pounds. So I'm going to get this torqued up and give it one last test before I put the clutch cover on, and we'll call that good. Okay, so we've got it all back together. This thing should be ready for riding. So we had to replace this tube, put this back on the Pro XP. There's a dowel or a little pokey that sticks out where you can get this lined up. It's on both sides. Makes it a lot easier to put the cover on, because basically once you get it in there, you can just hold it and start tightening up on these. One thing I'll recommend on these bolts, because you're going into metal on the back side here, is actually kind of counter rotate the screw of your hand while you're pushing in. When you feel the screw hit the thread and then pop in, that's when you want to start turning counterclockwise. It'll keep you from damaging these threads. It's very similar to if you're threading into plastic, something that's already been threaded. It kind of helps get the threads lined up so that they go in real easy. Another thing that's really handy, and this is the same tool I had on the old razor. If you don't have one of these yet for your clutch cover, this is 8 millimeter. That socket adapter is taped on so it won't come off. On a flexible, see how that flexes? Makes it a lot easier to put on. I've found that I've used this a lot too. So this fits most of the fasteners on the razor, but also you can kind of wedge that in to this plastic piece here, this rubber piece, and it helps get this boot on a lot quicker. I noticed a lot of guys were using like, heavy tie straps or whatever, but this works a lot better because it's rigid, it's metal, and you can just kind of slide it in there like that, kind of work it. Once you get it over about this point, where all you've got left is this side, you can come along, grab a hold of the tire here, put a hand against it, push it on and pop it on. But anyway, I'm glad to get this working. I got 1 day to spare tomorrow. It would be my last day to work on this. I'll kind of go through it tomorrow just to make sure. But the bark opens up on Friday, which is not tomorrow, but the next day. So I should be riding. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.